Today we're going to discuss one of the most debated topics among men. Why do some attract women effortlessly, while others, seemingly just as worthy, remain unnoticed? Is it chemistry, status, confidence, and dominance? If we examine this through the lens of Stoicism, we see that all these factors boil down to one fundamental truth: a man's internal state and his relationship with himself. The Stoics taught that a man should focus only on what is within his control and remain indifferent to external validation. If a woman, or anyone else, becomes the deciding factor in your sense of worth, you are already at a disadvantage. Dependence makes you vulnerable. Let's break down how women actually make their choices, and why Stoic philosophy not only helps men understand this process, but also become the kind of man who naturally gets chosen. A woman's antenna for selection: reality or illusion. Many believe that women have a built-in radar that instantly determines who is worthy of their attention and who is not. This belief isn't entirely wrong. Women do choose the most confident and self-assured man available within their reach. However, their selection process is not absolute. It's shaped by their environment, past experiences, personal beliefs, and even their emotions in a given moment. So if women choose men based on confidence, what does this mean for men? It means that the key factor isn't status, money, or external displays of dominance. It's your internal stability. Stoic wisdom teaches that true confidence comes from within. If your self-worth is based on whether or not women validate you, then you've already lost. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our suffering is not caused by events themselves, but by our reaction to them." A woman may choose you, reject you, or change her mind in a week. But if your identity depends on her choice, you lack stability. Status signals: game or reality. It's widely believed that women choose men based on so-called status signals, displays of wealth, confidence, and independence. But here's a crucial question. What if these signals are just a facade? You can buy an expensive car, wear a designer suit, and speak with confidence. But if there's no real inner strength behind it, women will sense it immediately. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within. Real confidence is not a behavior you copy. It's a state of being that cannot be faked. As Seneca put it, "He who finds happiness only in wealth will never be truly happy." If a man is only confident when he has external markers of success, then he remains vulnerable. If he loses those markers, his confidence disappears. True strength lies in maintaining internal stability regardless of circumstances. The carrot and dependency. Who is really chasing whom? Some men believe in using the carrot strategy, showing just enough value to keep a woman chasing, without giving too much too soon. But the real question is, who is actually dependent in this dynamic? If you deliberately play a strategy to provoke a reaction from a woman, then you are already dependent on her reaction. A true Stoic doesn't play games. He follows his path, builds himself up, and lives with purpose. Women are drawn to him not because he is trying to manipulate them, but because he does not depend on their attention. A man who constantly seeks female approval builds his life around things he cannot control. This leads to anxiety, insecurity, and dependence on external factors, fear of loss, and the collapse of identity. Why do men fear losing a woman so much? One of the key reasons is that their identity is built on two fragile pillars: work, relationships. If a woman leaves, the man feels like his entire identity is falling apart. But this raises a critical question. Why is your stability based on something you cannot control? The Stoics taught that true freedom comes from internal self-sufficiency. If your confidence depends on a woman, if you feel lost without her, then your foundation is weak. Epictetus said, "He who clings to things beyond his control is doomed to suffering." A real man remains whole and steady, whether or not a woman is in his life. How to become a man who doesn't need games with women? Most advice sounds simple. Be more confident, work out, make more money. But beneath these surface-level suggestions lies a deeper principle. A man who builds himself according to Stoic philosophy understands. A woman is not the center of his life. She is part of it. His worth is not determined by her choice, but by his own self-perception. He doesn't fake dominance. He simply lives with purpose. His confidence is not tied to external factors. When a man stops seeking validation from women, he becomes truly attractive. Not because he is trying to appear that way, but because he truly is. Conclusion: you cannot control which man a woman chooses, but you can control yourself. If you are dependent on a woman's choice, if you try to earn her attention or play games, you are already in a weak position. But if you live in a way where your value comes from within, if you do not need validation, if you remain steady regardless of whether a woman is with you or not, then you become the one who gets chosen. Women always sense when a man stands firmly on his own feet, when his identity doesn't crumble the moment circumstances change. And those are the men they choose. But in the end, it is you who does the choosing.